Getting all my brain drain out now.
Okay. We're ready. We are ready to go whenever you are. Okay. Welcome to Tape Swap Radio. Our guest today is Pale Fang. We have the members of the band here, Nick, Dan, Chad, Lee, and Josh. Thank you so much for being here, guys.
Thank you, Seamus.
And we're recording this interview in the stairwell of the Flatiron Building, so right outside for where you just played.
Yes, and we just loaded a lot of equipment up this stairwell and now down this stairwell.
Yeah, we appreciate the effort.
Yes.
So how did it feel playing on the roof, first of all?
Great.
Great.
Cold.
Cold.
Dark.
Yes, it is the end of October, but it is a nice fall day.
It was ideal temperature for me. It's like having a fan on. It was great. From the sky.
Yeah, this boy needs a fan everywhere we go, but we did not need one tonight.
All right, so background info for people. How long has Pale Fang been going?
We started, our first show is September 30th, 2022.
22, okay.
Yeah, so about 2 years.
About 2 years, all right. And what's the feeling about where the band's at right now compared to when you started?
Oh, everyone wants me to answer the questions. I think we are on a great path, a path of creativity, a path of friendship, and it's wonderful.
Nice. Well, I'll ask about this. You just released the new EP, Lose It. So what was the idea going into that EP? What were you wanting to write about? How do you think it came out?
Theme-wise, I don't think there's really any determined themes or anything. It's just kind of where the songs led themselves. What was the other part of the question?
Going in, and how do you think it came out? Were you happy with the results?
So I think for this recording, I think it's a lot more defined, and I think a lot of that has to do with Josh's work. So Josh, do you have anything you would like to say about maybe how you handled this EP differently than the other?
About like the sound quality, I guess.
Well, we can mention, Josh, you are the member of the band. You're a drummer when you have two drum sets.
Yes, rhythm drummer.
Yeah, okay. Nice. But you weren't at the drum kit for this session, though, just to let people know. But you're here helping with the audio, and you're also producing the albums for the band, right?
Yeah, at least engineering. I think we all kind of take a role in producing it. Like we equal parts, ideas go in that way. So as far as the sound, though, just like I think we all talked about this before. Like I always kind of like to feel out how to approach a recording, and I mentioned I was like, I want to do like everything we've been doing lately it's just been loud. It's been pretty like, raw energy at least. There wasn't very much like overdubbing or anything like that. So we wanted to really capture it the way it was just coming out as they played it live. So we recorded it live. We used like very few microphones, a lot of distance on the mic, so everything sounded nice and opened and like more natural, like you would hear it at like a performance, like from a stage or a venue. And I think, at least as far as the recording came out, I think we captured that pretty well. And then the playing, of course, too, that was also great. Being able to play live instead of having to do it to a click or putting somebody in a room kind of isolated away. I think that really adds a whole nother element to the recording. So that's what I would say about the EP, like sound wise, and I mean the songs are great too. So
very nice. All right.
It's kind of interesting because I get like I'm not at every practice, and these guys will write stuff, and I'll just I might be doing something else, and then I show up to practice, and I get to hear these awesome songs that they've been working on, but they're kind of new to me. So and then I get to offer my perspective on those as well. They've been playing them for a while, but then I may have just heard it for like the first time, like kind of finished, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. And we all have our our ideas that we share, like I said earlier. So, yeah.
Nice. All right. So Dan, as somebody who writes the lyrics and does the vocals for the band, what are the things you're writing about? Because Pale Fang, the sound is kind of dark, I would say. It's kind of a dark atmosphere. So how do you write songs for this band?
Well, if I'm going to give away all my little secrets, I guess, in the past, I guess, for the songs that we have been playing, sometimes I'll just start making noises with my mouth, and that's like over a riff, and syllables and shapes and maybe phrases will start to come out, and maybe I'll hear one word and I'll write that word down. And then also I watch a lot of movies and I read a lot, and I'll take maybe one word from a movie that I really like, and sometimes it takes like a really long time, and it's a string of lots of influence, my own real life, my own imaginative life, as well as the things that I consume media-wise. They all sort of form into one thing. Rarely do I ever like sit down and like write out like a full song with a title and everything. I just don't really work that way, and I admire people that can work that way because I think that's really cool and something that maybe I would like to be able to do one day. But as of right now, it's more of just, I think, a melodic sense, and then the words sort of come in after that. But some of the themes are, about, I'm trying to think right now. So Nothing There For Me, which is the first song that we performed, was actually a dream that I had where it was oddly sparse, and I approached these two people who told me that it was time for me to leave my own dream, and then there was nothing here. So I thought that was kind of weird and unique, and I ended up looking it up, and it really is not that weird and unique. Apparently a lot of people have that happen to them. But at the time, I thought it was pretty cool, and then that's sort of where that song came from. So some of it's dreams, some of it's real life, some of it's movie inspiration, and then it all kind of forms into one little blender of lyrics.
Very nice. All right. And
Sorry for that long-winded answer. You can
Hey,
edit
no,
that.
we want to get inside your head. And you mentioned movies, so give me a movie pick. What have you just seen that's pretty good that people should see?
There's a John Carpenter film I just saw that I really liked. I think it's called Somebody's Watching Me, I think it was called. It's kind of a one I've never heard of before from him, and it wasn't, over the top or like sci-fi. It was pretty reality based, and it was pretty cool. So
Okay.
I think anything John Carpenter I usually like. But
Very nice. Yeah, I haven't heard about that one. Okay. All right. So we asked this for most of the interviews now. We like to know one piece of gear that each of you can't live without. So Nick, you have the mic. Would you like to go first?
I've always had a van.
That's a piece of gear if you think about it, because it's transportation.
All of the gear comes here somehow.
I guess that's one aspect that people might not think of. The travel and getting things to and from shows is very important. So,
And I'll let somebody else go next.
I really like the Sweet Ride that Nick has been lending me that is now broken. I really like my Dream Ride I was using before, but that is now broken. And it's my crash. And all cymbals become a crash eventually.
Very good. All right. Lee offering the drum perspective.
I really like my current guitar that I have. It's
What
a Harmony reissue. I really like it.
Okay.
And, I don't know, amps. But I tend to sound the same out of any amp. And I try them all.
You can't get away from yourself.
Yeah, and I just sound like what I sound like, so I should stop trying amps, and just stick with one. But anyway.
Gotcha.
my guitar tuner is
required. So very good.
I'm gonna go on on Nick's train of thought here and say like we all kind of are involved in the same building, like a rehearsal space, and without that, I mean, we record in there, we practice in there, we write in there. Yeah, without that, I think we'd have a real hard time. So very grateful for that space.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting very philosophical with what constitutes gear here, but I like it. You know, these are all components that go into.
There's a lot of gear in there.
It all goes into letting you do what you need to do.
Yeah.
Right? And that's another good point you bring up. So you all are pretty much housed in one building, and that's your band practice rehearsal space. And it's also where you can record the albums, right? So how is that working out for you, having that one centralized space like that? Is this a new thing? Have you done it before?
We've all been there for a few years.
I don't know, like 5 years now.
Yeah, I've been there probably like,
I got there.
yeah, maybe like 7 years now. And it's, yeah, I mean, the landlord's great. We can make noise pretty much whenever we want. Yeah, shout out Bob.
All right. Hey, Bob.
And yeah, I mean, Nick's got his shop in there. I'll let him talk about that. I just finished renovating my room to soundproof it and really, make it into a proper recording studio. So I'm excited about that. Lee's got his space as well. So I'll give it to Nick.
Yeah, I mean, these are really great things to for a band to have access to. Like, we're very fortunate to have a little community, and the things that facilitate being in a band. I'm at work in my shop, I fix guitars, and then down the hall, Lee might be getting out of work and practicing drums, and we can catch up, we can talk about band practice in a few days or whatever, and get some ideas flowing. Josh can say, hey, can you listen to this mix I did on this song? I want to get your opinion on it. And I can just stop what I'm doing and walk down the hall, go to Over Under Recording Company and listen to that from the Sustain Chapel Guitar Repair Company.
Yeah, we should mention you have your guitar repair business.
Yes.
In the building as well.
Yep. And I've been there 10 years, not with the business, but just with rehearsal space. So I can take a break and I can play drums if I want, or play my bass or whatever, and just, come up with ideas while I'm at work. People don't have that luxury. We do. This is a great thing.
Nice. And that's in Allentown.
Yes, Allentown.
Yeah, very nice. All right, well, Pale Fang, we loved having you guys. Thank you so much for making the trek up the stairwell.
Thanks for having us.
Onto the roof. And we end every interview with a pick from the band. So we're going to ask you for one band you ran across playing, and we'll end the interview with a song from them.
We'll go with the Redos. They are adorable young men who are very talented and just finished making an album with Josh. And they are hardworking and quite unique. So go Redos.
All right. And Food Truck, our previous guest, they also picked the Redos. So.
Oh, really? Crap.
Yes.
You should have told us that.
we'll do it again. No, it's all good.
We don't want to give them any more attention. They're getting way too much attention. This is unfair, imbalanced.
They're bubbling under. It's an up and coming here. All right. Pale Fang, Nick, Dan, Lee, Chad, and Josh, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Seamus.
All good?
There it goes again, it's the same old beat. It goes boom, boom,